Om Vidyate Hridaya Kranti Chidyase Sarva Samshaya Chiyante Chasya Karmani Tasmin Drishte Paravare. The knots of the heart are cut asunder. All doubts are dissipated. All karmas are destroyed. When that which is the high and the low is seen. This verse is from the Mundaka Upanishad, and it speaks about the knots, the chains, the bondages. And today's subject matter for the Mantra Yoga class is breaking the chains. You know, Swami Vivekananda in one of his Vesper hymn says, breaker of this world's chains, Khandana Bhava Bandhana. We adore thee. How do we adore thee? There are so many obstacles. There are so many steps. It's kind of impossible. The first obstructions, the list of obstructions are diseases, mental laziness, and then doubt, lack of enthusiasm, lethargy, attachment to sense enjoyment, false perceptions, non-attaining concentration, falling away from the state of mind when obtained. So this is the first list of obstructions. And this is found in the aphorisms on yoga. These are the real obstacles. Now, when you have disease, you don't need to do japa. The disease will go away. That's only in the higher stages. You need to see a doctor. Okay. Yeah. So, a healthy body is what is really required here. And then we have, mental laziness. There's a kind of a brain fog. Your habits, food habits and sleeping habits and everything else gives you a kind of a, brain fog. It's not very sharp and clear. There's a kind of a laziness. After some time of practicing japa, you'll find it becoming dull and blunt. It has to remain sharp. And then we have doubt, of course, whether God exists or no. Whether I exist, nobody doubts. Well, start from there, the scriptures say. You don't doubt yourself, isn't it? Yeah, then you start from there. Okay. And then we have something called lack of enthusiasm. You start with all the enthusiasm, with all the energy, and then find after some time, you find, oh my God, you've run out of steam. And then you have lethargy. You have lethargy in the sense of, that is part of nature. Then you have attachment to sense objects. That is another thing. You want a sweet and then you make all the, you can say, rationalizations about enjoying that particular thing. False perceptions, of course, false memories and false perception. Then non-attaining concentration, we know that. And after attaining concentration, falling away from that state, that is also one of those obstacles. So these are real obstacles. They can be felt, tangibly in your body. And when you come across these obstacles, what happens? Obviously, when you meet your enemy, not your friend, when you meet your enemy, these are the obstacles. What happens is, then you have the second one, the obstacles, as grief. That's the first thing. You're so disheartened, grief. Then you have mental distress, and then you have you're trying to fight those things, and then there's a kind of the low grade tremor in the body. It's there. Then you have irregular breathing, and obviously non-retention of you cannot retain concentration. These are called vikshepa, mental restlessness. So you meet obstacles, and after meeting the obstacles, you always meet obstacles. You don't meet anything better than that. And then these are the reactions. Okay. Now, when we're talking about this whole idea of a mantra yoga, what is the mantra yoga? See, when you close your eyes, you're trying to meditate or try to do your meditative repetition of the mantra. What happens is, the first thing, that old memories arise. So these old memories, these are the greatest, you can say, chains, the greatest obstacle, old memories. And they are not going to go away so quickly. One thing you need to always remember: the moment you react to those memories, they've got you. Watch them like a neutral person. Whether they are good, bad, or indifferent, just don't react. If you react, they lead you down the labyrinth of those old memories. You're caught. And you know what? They very lovingly kind of entice you. Come, come, come. It's not only some gruesome details that you remember that they come. No, some nicely. The idea is, this old memory wants to distract you. So when you're meditating, the first thing happens that these thoughts come. Don't react. In case you react, it means one thing and one thing only: that there is still life in those old memories. What life? It's like that, you can say, poison, the venom in that. And it is not going to go away so quickly. They are like seeds, and they will germinate today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow. It's going to be there. So when these memories, old memories come, it's called the samskaras. You react, or you wince, or you smile. So when you are meditating, you find somebody smiling, then we know there's some nice memory, not a traumatic memory, nice memory. That guy is enjoying himself, his meditation. Actually, that guy is not meditating. It's just that these thoughts still have the venom in them. What do you do then? Japa. Japa is like, it goes and targets that kind of venom in those old memories, destroys the venom and extracts it out and leaves the shell of memories without the power of germinating again. Then what does japa do? You see, these old memories, they are not just sitting down there, okay? They have all gathered together. They are networked. One memory is linked to the next, and the next, and the next, and the whole series. It's a chain. These are the chains. It's as simple as that. You think they are sitting down in a bubble, isolated? No, they are not sitting in a bubble, isolated. every memory is linked to every other memory, and they form a vast network. Now, how do we break these networks? Yeah, the only way you can break the networks is by disabling some of the links. And how do you do that? Well, again, you do it through japa, through the repetition of God's name. Because the mantra itself has an inherent power within it. Number one. The second is the mind, when it is repeating the name of God, what happens is it is endowed with more power. The mind has power and the mantra has power, and these two things have the capability to destroy those links. Once you keep on breaking those links, that's what the breaking of the chains is, this by the mantra. There is no other way, easier way than this. The other ways of yoga are extremely difficult for us at this stage of being aspirants. So you have the easiest and quickest way to break them. Now we must understand, all memories are not your enemies. There are two types of memories. One is the memories of spiritual things. These are good things. And these have to be increased, nothing else. And the other types of memories, the traumatic and the stupid and the ridiculous memories, they need to go. They need to be disabled and kept out. And slowly they will lose their life, they will lose that venom in them, it will not germinate. They will be there, and then the power of the mantra itself will later destroy them. So this is how slowly, and as you keep on doing the repetition of God's name, repeat God's name with deliberation, slowly, what happens is, you are creating a very powerful stream of spiritual, you can say, impressions, samskara. Yes, you may not realize it. Every time you repeat God's name is forming a powerful factor. Only thing is, it needs to be done continuously for it to gather momentum. And that is the way. So the Yoga Sutras speaks about what's the best means. And then we find the Yoga Sutras saying that the manifest Ishvara, that God's manifestation, is the sound of Om. We've done this before. We won't elaborate. Ishvara is the controller, God. It's in simple ways. So where does Ishvara reside? We won't go into the theological, you can say, debate. When you look around, you don't see any God. This was the ungodly world. Yeah, sorry. And you wonder, where is God hidden? So God manifests, Ishvara manifests itself through the sound of Om. Is that all? Well, you don't really understand the real implications of that sound. As you keep on repeating over and over and over and over and over again, you will understand the implications. On the repetition of Om and thinking of its meaning is the way. So Om is the manifesting symbol or sound of God. Repeat it with love and devotion. And as you repeat it, what happens is, there is a destruction of your, you can say, obstacles. The the mantra says, Tata pratyak chetana adhigamo antaraya abhavascha. And then there is a destruction of obstacles. It's always like that. So, pratyak chetana is saying, when the mind is running out, it is parag. When it is running inside, it is pratyak, internally. So, from repetition of the mantra Om, one acquires introspection or internalization. Of what? Of this idea of God first. It's manifesting sound, a symbol. That is actually the factor that destroys all obstacles. So when you are repeating, you don't keep on looking about here and there, okay? Let's see if anybody looking at you. Don't. Keep quiet. Half close your eyes or close your eyes. Sit down straight and start repeating. We have seen how we need to repeat the mantra. Sit down straight. Keep your neck, head and body in a straight line. Don't move your tongue at all. Keep your eyeballs fixed on the space just outside your nose or outside your mouth or outside your chin. With the, you can say, stillness of the eyeballs, what happens is your mind becomes steady. Don't let your eyes move under the eyelids. Now you're listening to me. Even a small thought will distract your eyes. Yes, it means how intimately thought and the movement of the eyes is connected. We are trying to see the particular thing. There's nothing there. And after the mind understands there's nothing there, because the optic nerve and the eyes are an extension of the brain. Nothing else. We're saying you have eyes, oh, this is an extension of the brain. So the only way you can calm the brain and the mind is by keeping your eyes still. Then the optic nerves become still, and then the brain, which is part of the brain, at the rear of the head, is engaged in visuals. That is quieted down, and then the mind becomes quiet. So this is the way. And then what do you need to do? Then you start repeating the sound of Om. Now when you are repeating it, repeat it silently. If it's difficult, and as we have mentioned before, repeat it audibly. The tongue will move, of course. And as you keep on repeating, what you do, slowly reduce the speed of the repetition, reduce the volume of the repetition till it becomes silent. So you say, Om. The next will be a little softer, a little slower, and a little softer. Om. And then a little less audible. Om. And then silent. So you can stretch it out the way you feel comfortable. And once it becomes silent, then keep the tongue still. Because there is a tendency, like when you repeat something, your tongue also moves. You must have noticed it. Or if you haven't, you'll notice it now. Keep the tongue still, keep the eyeball still, and start repeating the sound of Om. If you feel a kind of a difficulty in fixing it, use the symbol. Keep a symbol in front of you so that you see that symbol And as you see the symbol, keep on repeating. And then watch the symbol, close your eyes and try to visualize that symbol as you repeat the sound. And then if you feel comfortable, once again open your eyes, gaze at that symbol while repeating silently that mantra, and then slowly you open your eyes, reopen and close, or close your eyes and keep on repeating it. If your concentration is good enough, watch the symbol or watch any deity you like or you love, Rama or Krishna or Devi, or you can say Ram Krishna or Holy Mother, and think that this sound represents them. And as you keep on repeating over and over and over, and a stream of thought is generated. This stream of thought becomes memories, spiritual memories, and these spiritual memories are going to break the chains, old chains of memories that are there laid down. This is the path to freedom. There is no other easier way than this. So this was as described in the yoga aphorisms. So you'll find all the obstructions that were enumerated, disease, doubt, laziness, and all these things, they will disappear. Mental aid, everything of all these things will disappear. And the next thing will disappear is the reactions also, grief and tremor of the body and all these things. Even this will all disappear. Then your mind is really free. Then you will understand the power of the mantra. It simply will lift you up, just take you up, lift you up and keep you, making you more and more and more subtle. The power of the mantra is kind of released, it awakens, and you feel that there is no obstacle strong enough in this world that can take me down. All your chains have been broken. That is what you feel, you will feel as you keep on repeating the mantra. Okay. Stop here for questions. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu. Yeah, it's always good to have you all back, and I can't hear, I think.
No, this is.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay, fine. Okay, I can hear. Okay, people are saying, I can hear, I can't hear, I can hear, I can hear. What happened? So, okay. So the question is, all these thank yous, okay, good. Thank you all for joining in. Okay, what is the fundamental difference between praying to God and repetition of a mantra? Why God will grant my wishes only when I repeat a mantra and not when I pray to Him, pray to God? Who said God will not grant you your wishes if you repeat? No, don't repeat the mantra and you pray. God is free. He's a free agent. He's not bound by your wishes or my wishes or your japa prayers. But always remember, a mantra is concentrated prayer. I think that has been emphasized over and over again. The mantra is concentrated prayer. So when your prayer is nice and short and sweet, it goes, you can say, fast. You can concentrate. And this concentration leads you to meditation. So pray without ceasing. That is the idea. We have this prayer without ceasing in the traditions, Christian traditions also. Especially in the Eastern Orthodox churches, we have this prayer without ceasing. And then even every morning we say, chant the name of the Lord and His glories unceasingly. So you have unceasingly. So prayer has to be unceasing. So whether you take a mantra or you take a longer prayer or long whatever, God will grant you your wishes if it is sincere. People wish many things, let my enemy be destroyed. That God's not going to do that for you. Okay. So you must know what wish. Everything that you wish that is going to help you and the world, please do. Please tell us the way to overcome panic disorders of ill health. Even though I am fully healthy, I worry a lot. Something is going to happen for my heart. Please say how to overcome it. So your heart. What you do is follow a prescribed diet by cardiologist. If you eat all the rubbish things, you're going to get worried about your heart, of course. Take exercises, sleep well, do some fasting, and your heart will be healthy. And when your heart is healthy, you don't have to worry about it. Okay. How about my mantra Deeksha? If you are sincere, the mantra will come to you through your guru. So, in the meantime, keep yourself ready for receiving that mantra. So there we are. Okay. You have any questions here?
Following up on that last question, how would you say your lesson changes following the receiving a mantra from a guru? Would you say it's the same, you just contemplate the meaning and do the exact same thing, or?
You do the same thing. This is the standard practice for every mantra, that you have to dwell on its meaning. Okay. If you don't, then you're doing half the work. So why do you do the work half-heartedly or half the work? Do it properly. Every work should be done with attention, with correctness. Everything has a methodology. So when you're repeating a mantra, you always think of its meaning, always. And you also need to visualize. So once you have these three, repetition of the mantra along with thinking of its meaning and the visualization, this forms the correct methodology of mantra japa. Okay, so that.
When you're meditating on Om, how do you think of its meaning? What would be the process What is it like to think of the meaning of Om during meditation?
Feel that the whole universe is emerging. Think of these vast galaxies, and these galaxies all emerging as you repeat and merging. That is one way. And you can also think of yourself as waking, dream, and deep sleep. As you say, Om. And if that also is difficult for you, then take the symbol of the Lord. Take a picture of the Lord, say an image of Ishvara, and meditate. You are an Omkar. So you are the knower of Ramakrishna is spoken of as the knower of the Om, who represents the Om. He is the Om. So that is, so there are those who are visually very dominant, for them visualization becomes very strong. Those who are not visually very strong, they can keep on repeating, thinking that this is God's name. Always remember, like you have a name. Hey, Satya. And you will respond. So God also responds when you call out. So think that this is God's name. Okay.
There are more questions there.
The question hasn't come in here. What? Panic disorders? No.
Can you please tell us about fasting? Because you mentioned fasting.
Oh, fasting. Intermittent fasting. Keep a break of 16 to 17 hours. You don't do it regularly in the beginning. Intermittent fasting is now found to be a great help to health and wellness and mental clarity and everything in staving of diseases. So get used to intermittent fasting now and then. Well, you don't eat in the evening or skip your dinner, and then you go through the whole evening and the whole night, and the next morning, you eat something kind of. So that actually helps. It takes off all your toxins out, etc. So that is, and if you can keep on fasting, is something called autophagy. Like the body itself kind of eats away all the toxins and all the kind of rubbish things that you have eaten and clears it. So that kicks in after about 24 hours of fasting. But like I said, keep on drinking water, and if you're not used to it, don't do it. Do it fast for 4 hours or 5 hours or 6 hours, and then keep on doing slowly and slowly. But fasting also has a benefit. Like we were used to when we were young, you fast. Why do you fast? So that you can take the name of God. You have enough of time. Instead of thinking about eating and preparing food and cleaning the plates and this and that and all, it's a troublesome thing. So you dispense off with all that trouble, take God's name during that time. So it's helpful.
So, relevant question. When bad memories come up, instead of reacting, we do japa. Then those memories just fade away for the time being and come up again later. Will they stop doing so if we constantly try?
Oh yes. The bad memories will come, and when you're doing japa, they will go away and they will fade, and then they will come back again, renewed. And then again you push them away. This fight goes on for some time. You don't have to worry about it, because you have given them enough life, and now they are not going to go away so easily. Do you think they're going to let go easily? Oh no. They're going to put up a fight, and you've got to put up a fight. So let's have a good fight. If they come back for the second round or the third round, the fourth round, yeah, I'm ready. Keep on. You will one day overcome that. So remember that the mind has tremendous powers. The whole thing is vitiated by wrong memories, false perception, biases, and all these things that are kind of crowding in our mind. So your mantra will start targeting, as I mentioned, that venom which is there in those memories. Yeah, it's kind of a lock and key. Don't worry. Nowadays, medicines and all the things, they get down to that actual, you can say, place where they need to target, and it destroys that. So keep on and on and on, and when you start conquering your old memories, you feel that sense of release, a sense of freedom. It's a tremendous thing. You will not let it go. It will be worthwhile, all the fight and all the effort. Okay.
What should we meditate on, mantra or Atman?
The mantra is what should you meditate on? The mantra is a symbol of the Atman. So when you are repeating the mantra, you're meditating on the Atman itself. You call it the Atman or you call it God. Those who are yogis would like to call it the Atman. Those who are dualist in a way, they would like to call it God, an image of God, etc. So the mantra is not something that has an independent identity. It's always linked. As we mentioned, Ishvara's manifesting word is Om. So it represents him. It is him. And where is that Ishvara? Where is God? Well, he's there within you, inside. He is the subject, eternal subject. And once you know that, then it's over. So you always meditate on the Atman.
Before today, I did not practice japa, but through self-inquiry and quiet sitting, I have been able to remove some scars. Do you recommend japa or self-inquiry, and vice versa? Pranam Maharaj.
Self-inquiry, what do you mean by self-inquiry?
Who am I?
Who am I? Who am I? You know, when you say, who am I? The answer has already been given, that you are God's child, or you are the Atman, or you are the Supreme Self, the Supreme Self. So that is the path of knowledge, jnana. It needs tremendous willpower. And when you break those old thoughts through this inquiry, it's not just who am I. Don't do that. There are certain passages in the Upanishads which speak of the glory of the self. In the Upanishads, the ideal given is practices listening, shravana, thinking deeply, manana, and profound meditation. That is the way, nididhyasana. So it's not a kind of a mental kind of repetition of who am I, who am I, who am I. No, it's not there. You take a passage, Sava Esha Mahanaja Atma, that great immortal birthless self that is within my heart, etc., etc., etc. These are profound and very beautiful passages. You can meditate or you can think of these passages, and then they become the cause of breaking the old chains. Okay.
Can mantra japa help overcome lust? Is there a specific mantra and a way of chanting it, or would any mantra chanted for a length of time help in this?
Oh yes, any mantra chanted correctly will not only, it will cure everything, it will remove everything away from it, all the worldliness. So it does, it helps. And I would say that if you sustain your practice thinking of God, Sri Ramakrishna gives a nice example. The more you move towards the west, the east falls away on its own. The more you move towards God or spirituality, you move away from the worldliness. So you don't need a separate practice here. You keep on moving towards. How do you move towards God? Yeah, again, with meditative repetition of God's name, everything is taken care of. So this is the conquest of yourself, the lower self through the higher self. And this goes on and on and on. And you will see its own results. You don't need to take my word for it. Or maybe this guy is not completely transparent about it. So no, you do it yourself. And I'll give an example. Like Sri Ramakrishna's disciple, Swami Yogananda, he asked Sri Ramakrishna, well, how do you conquer lust? So he's saying, you take the name of Hari, clap your hands. So he said, so many people take the name of the Lord by clapping their hands. The whole of Calcutta is taking God's name. Nothing is happening for them. But then his good sense prevailed, saying, let's see, I'll follow what he has recommended. And he started, and he got the results immediately. And Sri Ramakrishna gives an example, like birds roost on a tree. Okay, when it's evening, you can see that. So we're clapping there, all the birds get frightened and they run away, fly away. So lust and greed and anger and hate and jealousy and all these things, they just fly away. Hey, this guy's clapping my hand, clapping. So Swami Yogananda wanted some very high yogic disciplines of pranayama or some asana or something like that. Sri Ramakrishna gave him a simple kind of solution. Clap your hands while chanting God's name, and then so there you found. And Swami Vivekananda himself confirmed Swami Yogananda as free from lust. So there you have a confirmation.
As a follow-up, when spiritual memories come up, should we react to them so they become stronger, as opposed to the worldly ones?
You will react to those spiritual memories by doing more spiritual memories. You will not get recoiled by them. So they are a source of delight. So when the spiritual memories come, it also will tell you your character is changing. The bedrock of your life character is changing. If all these subconscious spiritual memories come up, that's excellent. And that is what is actually required for every spiritual aspirant. So let them come and react by impelling them even some more, feeding them some more, over and over again. So you have two dogs, you starve one and you feed one, and then you make them, both of them fight. You know who's going to win. Okay, something like that. So you strengthen, you feed your spiritual, you can say, impressions over and over again, and you starve the old worldly impressions. And they will then dwindle and they will break, they will become brittle, of course, and then they will not have the potency to germinate. They will not disturb you. So yes, react with love.
Are there any specific mantras to reduce dreams? Sometimes the mind seems so restless, and it reflects in innumerable dreams, good and not so good ones.
Oh, you don't have to worry about dreams. Just when you wake up saying they're just dreams. Okay, they're just dreams. So you don't have to worry about why should I control dreams. But one thing remember, what you see and do in the waking state is what you see and do in the dream state. Except there is a mind has a power to kind of blend certain memories without your asking or without your knowledge. So you might see yourself flying like Superman. You have never flown, but you have seen a movie Superman. So you might feel yourself flying. How did that happen? There's a power in the subconscious mind that does it. So, and it's not that you dream all through the night. This is called a rapid eye movement period. And there are non-rapid eye movement periods of sleep. Okay, this is more prevalent than rapid eye movement. So you may dream 3 or 4 dreams, and those memories, dream memories, are kept in a separate folder from waking memories. So you don't have to worry about it. But if you want to control your dreams, dream truer dreams, Swami Vivekananda says, like eternal love and service free. So what you do during the day comes out at night. Like Sri Ramakrishna says, if you eat radish, you are going to belch radish. So you see that you eat something nice in the day, think some nice thoughts, do some nice things, and then the important thing is then the other things like keep your body, the body becomes cooler by a degree. See that the air, the you can say the room is ventilated, it's not warm. And then secondly, try to sleep on the left hand side, that cools the body even more. So these are the things you need to look at.
Seems that his problem is not the dreams, but it's restless. Sometimes the mind seems so restless.
In dreams?
No, during the day.
During the day. Oh, during the day. You're restless. That's a state of your mind. Change the state of your mind. So we had spoken in the last time, it's vikshipta, kshipta, mooda. That is restless. Then we have something called restlessness intermittently mixed with calmness. And then there is something called a stupefied mind, the dull mind, the dark mind. So these are the three types of minds which are here. Check out our old last week's video, you will get the idea. So kshipta is something like you throw. Your mind is in that state now. And that you have got to be very careful. It will lead to disease, crime, corruption, and all the stupid things in life. This is what happens. It will also lead you to, you can say, the extreme restlessness will lead you down to mental ill health. So what do you do now? Well, go and exercise. Take off all the superfluous energy out. Go out and do some good work. That also will take off some of that restlessness. Try to think of larger things, greater things than only of that self, and me, I, me and my is the cause of all restlessness. Desires are the next cause of restlessness. Have some grand desires. Yeah, I will feed 10 people today. I won't ask anything in return. Yeah, there, go ahead. Makes you feel good. So concentrate on other people right now to reduce restlessness. And other people in the sense are those who are more unfortunate than you. That's the best way. You could go and help them, and then you'll find things are getting better and better. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.